Welcome to the virtual concert halls, broadcasting live today from Germany, and of course from China as well, and from New York. Our online broadcasting platform is dedicated to streaming live performance and panel discussion. We connect musicians with their audiences and with each other. We are an independent virtual stage for classical musicians, educators of all instruments and music-related disciplines, for music promoters, supporters, and music lovers. Our guests join our programs from their own location, as I do today. Around the world, they bring and share their musical gifts, their expertise, their personalities, and their goals. We present our guests' opinions, and we hope that our audience will benefit from hearing different and maybe sometimes conflicting points of view on classical music, aesthetics, business, and other topics which we raise through our programs. We would like to also thank all of our partners for supporting many performing artists and our programs. I would like you to welcome JingCi. Hello.
Hi, Előd. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I'm so happy to see you. This is a wonderful event.
Me too.
It's a rather rare occasion to meet musicians nowadays, especially in this pandemic era we live in at the moment. And I'm so glad to see you. First, I wanted to ask you some questions about what are you currently doing, where you are. You are in New York, right?
Yes, I'm currently in New York, and I'm currently pursuing my Doctor of Musical Arts in piano performance at the University of Connecticut. But right now I'm staying home and doing virtual lessons, classes in New York.
Okay,
Right.
okay, I see. Yeah, well, I wish you best of luck for your doctorate
Thank
degree.
you.
And if I understand it correctly, your goal is to perform as much as you can after the pandemic, right?
Yes, of course. We really miss the stage
Yeah.
as a pianist.
Yeah.
Yes, but
So
this
do I.
is very new to me, and I'm
Mhm.
so excited to share music through this virtual concert hall today.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And just one short question: how do you cope with this situation as a musician? Because being locked down is very difficult for all of us, I'm sure, for entrepreneurs, for architects, for psychologists. But I really think, and I will discuss it also with Peiyi, for us musicians, being as an entity in concert halls and creating memories with musical partners, for example, as chamber musicians, or meeting new people is our fuel. And this is why we love music, not just because we sit a lot in front of the piano, or not just because we practice the cello, but
Yes.
because I think being a musician is also feeling connected to society. And how do you manage to do this, or do you connect
Yes,
with society somehow?
Yeah, of course. Like we meet regularly with my colleagues and my mentors, and of course we meet in the class or after the class. But thankful for the technology these years, we have Zoom, we have Facebook, YouTube, everything we have. So we have a lot of chance to do like live stream or online show like today we are doing this. So there's so many things we can discover, and especially for me, because online thing is always new to me. So I learned a lot during this several months since March. Yeah, and I enjoy the process so far. Yeah.
That's very good to hear. But for sure it's difficult because we weren't used to this camera microphone setting.
Yes.
Okay, on the stage, of course, when both of us have performed in concert halls, of course there's a camera and there's a microphone or multiple microphones or multiple cameras. There might be a stream, but this feeling of sitting in front of an audience, you can somehow feel the sizzling of the concentration, you know.
Yeah,
And
I see.
and you know what I mean. So
Right.
this vibe of being there in the moment, and not seeing it any other time. And what are the disadvantages for you when performing online, or what was weird or unusual for you for the first time?
Yeah, maybe the point is not so exciting as I perform in the stage or in front of the people, but for me, I also try to motivate myself when I do this. I still feel that I'm performing in front of the people, in front of the computer, and I still got some nervous before I perform. So it's good thing. It's really fresh to me, and yeah, I will just get better with this platform.
Yeah.
Right.
Wonderful. And this is the thing I wanted to tell you is it's not just about the applause in the end of the concert. It's not just the applause. Feeling feeling good on the stage after you performed. I don't know if it's a Liszt sonata, then a Liszt sonata. If it's a Chopin concerto, of course, an applause feels always nice. But I think both of us think the same. Really, being on the stage is feeling connected, and we try to replicate this virtually. And I think this is just simply fantastic to meet people. I mean, 3 different continents. It's just amazing.
That.
Yeah,
Right.
in the same time, 3 different continents. You have 10 p.m., right?
10 a.m. now.
10 a.m. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
Peiyi has
in the
10.
morning.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is just crazy to. It is really connecting us, and have you been performing at master classes recently?
Yes, currently I'll just chosen to play piano master class from
Okay.
United States in a university, which called Piano Day, was curated by my professor, Gadalia, and so she invited Malcolm Bilson, who is the greatest, one of the greatest scholars and pedagogues in the United States. So he
Malcolm
gave the
Bilson,
master
sorry.
class. Yes.
Malcolm Bilson? I've
Yes.
actually met him in Hungary. Wow.
Oh,
He is a
wow.
forte pianist. He's just a
Yes.
phenomenal person, yeah. He's
Yes.
oh yeah. He's a legend, you could say. A living legend
Right.
among us.
Very
Yeah.
legendary
Yeah.
master. So I played Beethoven Bagatelles for him
Perfect.
through Zoom. So it's very new to
Mhm.
me, and I don't know if the quality of the sounds was good, but at that moment I feel a little bit nervous, and but the process was very good. I learned a lot through this Zoom platform, and he's very kind teacher.
He's very kind. You know, the difference between performing live on the stage and performing in front of a camera is the microphones listen to everything, you know. The audience
Yeah.
might forget, you know, but the camera listens to everything. But I think it's still manageable to feel at home, you know, feel on the stage. One last question before we move into listening from you. How does your dream concert look like after the pandemic is over? Have you imagined yourself on the first time on the stage performing live, and what would you perform if you could choose?
I may choose to a small, like salon-like concert to start this after pandemic events, because I really want to just connect my close friends and family together to just share some my very favorite music to them. Not big, but very warm.
So just like a warm-up, right?
Right, and
Yeah, because
conversational.
I couldn't imagine myself in front of a big audience. Just imagine 2,000 people after the pandemic. It's rather a shock for us pianists or
Yeah,
violinists.
it's hard.
It's really hard. Yeah, salons have a very unique feeling, I think, and actually,
Very
of course, you know it. Chopin chose this scenery.
Yes.
The player saloon, for example, and Liszt was the one who was drawn into grand audiences, and saloons have a flair. They have a unique vibe, a very calm, very elegant, very gentle way.
Yeah.
I wish you best of luck performing
Thank you.
on the first time. Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So we are gonna listen to you performing the Beethoven Bagatelles. I wish you
Yes.
good luck and
Thank
enjoy
you.
the moment. Okay.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon. Wow. Amazing, amazing.
Thank you so much.
The textures, the colors you introduced, wonderful, wonderful. I really liked each and every one of them. I have some memories with the second Bagatelle, actually, the C major. It's very interesting. Ernst Bachrich is the composer's name, and he wrote a variation on this theme. It's rather an iconic theme. Dum ba ba. It's
Right.
it's very majestic, you could say.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, this over-punctuated rhythm was born in the Baroque time when
Yes,
when
I
the
think
king
so.
entered the room, and you just resembled it perfectly. I really like this performance. Thank you very
so
much. Talk to you later. I'm gonna invite Peiyi to the conversation.
Okay.
See you.
See you soon.
See you.
Hi, Előd.
Good
Hi,
evening.
everyone. Good evening. Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you too. I'm so happy we could connect.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Let me just adjust the volume for a moment. Okay, now I can hear you. Perfect. Great. So, how does it feel in front of a camera, with the audience, with the piano? Exciting, right?
Excited, and it's a little bit weird for me because it's my first time to play online and without audience, so it's a little bit strange.
But we have to get used to this. Apparently,
Yeah,
the
sure.
situation won't change
Mhm.
shortly, I think. Have you ever had any master classes or lessons with Zoom or anything like this?
Yeah, because we started quarantine since March, so
Oh, yeah.
so I just had a lot of Zoom classes during my last semester at Management School of Music. Yeah.
And you're currently in China right now.
Yes, I'm currently back to China, and I just graduated this summer, and I'm back to China because I have my own piano studio here, and for now I've just started teaching here.
Wonderful. Okay. And which city do you live in? Which part of China? Which region is this?
It's a south part of China, and
Okay.
the city is Foshan. I'm not sure if you know that.
No,
But,
I don't know. Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. And how was it like in New York? Can you tell me some interesting stories, maybe, or memorable events? If
Yeah.
concerts, yeah.
It's such a wonderful experience for me because I stay in New York for only 2 years. It's not that much time, but for me, my first year in New York is a little bit under pressure because I need to fix the language problem, and I need to get used to the lessons because we have a lot of classes at school. So it's a little bit messed up in my first year, but yeah, it's still a wonderful experience. Cause I met a lot of great musicians. I had a lot of experience on solo performance and chamber and etc. Yeah.
Well, New York is a big city, right? Lots of opportunities, but I guess, as you mentioned, lots of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It's a very busy city, I guess,
Yes.
for everyone. I've asked this question before, and JingCi gave me a very interesting answer. My question is, how do you cope with quarantine? How do you cope with being a musician in these difficult times? What I mean is, as I've mentioned earlier, again, for us musicians, our fuel is living in society as a musician, not just practicing on the piano or at the cello. It's us breathing in culture and breathing out music. And since everything has happened, we don't get so much opportunity to show our talent, or whatever you can call it. And how do you manage to still feel and live as a musician, as an entity in these difficult times?
Yeah, it's such a tough time for me and for us, I believe, because during COVID-19, I have been cancelled for a lot of concert and performance, and I feel sad. But yeah, I will, like, I think there's a lot of platform on internet that they also have um, some chance to get connected with other musicians. Like we have some online rehearsal with cellos and violins, so it's
Wow.
a special experience. Yeah.
Does it work properly?
It works.
It works? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. This is
Yeah, but fortunately, the situation in China is getting better. So the concert hall is start reopen. So we have
Oh, wow.
a chance to perform in the concert hall. And yeah, I have my recital in January next year, because it's such a pity that I don't have my graduate recital in May. So I will have the recital next year. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
exciting for me.
Okay, this is very exciting. I should maybe book my ticket to China, because there are some concert halls there.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's so great. You people catching up. Very good, very good. We are stuck in Europe still, as you see in the news. We don't have any opportunities to perform. Okay, I won't discuss how this is, or if it is correct or not. We just have to accept this and still work on ourselves and on our performances. And what's gonna be your repertoire when everything is back to normal again? What is your dream repertoire where everyone is, if anything goes right again and people are listening and people are going to concert halls, they are engaging again? What is your dream repertoire on your first concert?
Oh wow! Because I already have, I already planning my first concert, so I'm gonna play Brahms Piano Sonata, the first one, which is
Oh,
a huge piece.
it's
And
huge, yeah.
yes, it's a huge
Crazy.
piece, and it's a great challenge for me because I haven't performed in a concert hall for more than a year, so it's hard. And I also have some small pieces like Chopin Waltzes, which I'm gonna play today, and also Scriabin Preludes.
Yeah. Just a simple short question. It's a very simple but interesting question, but it's not so easy to answer. But I think you will just do great. How to find meaning in shorter pieces, in structurally less demanding pieces? This is my question. If you could answer.
Yeah, I think the short pieces for me is like I'm not sure you know, but like we have a lot of poem in China.
Mm-hmm.
Like the poets can express their meaning, their story, and even express a picture in short sentence and short phrases. So I think the small pieces is kind of poetry at some point. So I think some short pieces can express the true meaning of the composer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think when we listen to it, we can like combine the story of the composer and the meaning behind the music.
Yeah, very interesting answer. Um, so what you're saying is shorter pieces are like poems or
Yeah.
novels maybe, and your Brahms sonata is like a epic. It's an epic opera, oratorium maybe. It's grand. It's very demanding, but not just because how the details work, if they work or not, but it's it's very difficult and very demanding to give structure to your performance. So you have energy everywhere in
Yeah.
each minute, every moment. It is also very challenging in Bach's pieces, in fugues, Goldberg variations, or Beethoven, the big sonatas. It's very difficult to hold on to this energy, this flow, and to bind it together. But in shorter pieces, your your vocabulary, your musical vocabulary is a little bit restricted. So that's why it's so difficult to say a lot with less. Okay, so Brahms says it in 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and Chopin in his Preludes says it in 40 seconds. And who am I to decide which one is better? You know, each and every one of their pieces is unique and has different stories and gives unique feelings to the audience. It's yeah, this was a very philosophical answer. I'm gonna think about this for a lot, I think. but thank you. And so you are in China now. You are teaching. How do you like teaching? Is it familiar? When did you begin teaching?
Oh, let me see. I started teaching since my high school. I think the last
Oh
year
wow.
of my high school. Yeah.
Okay.
And I like teach the small because it's like the children between 4 years old to 6 years old because they can give you a lot of expression. I mean a lot of passion to on this job because they're and I would like to discover some teaching methods for the Chinese student because as you know we have a lot of famous teaching methods in American or in other country, but we don't have some many teaching resource for the Chinese student. So this is my goal on teaching to have my own teaching methods.
This is great. I'm also teaching. I have 8 students, and each and every one of them is another personality. You know, you just can't say the same thing to each of your students, and that's why it's so important to work on a piece, not in groups, but one versus one. You know, and my methods are very diplomatic. I like to ask them questions, you know, what they think. And in Hungary, where I come from, we have the method, Kodai method. I don't know if you know this method. It's with the psalmization, and it helps a lot, and with clapping also. This is also very interesting method. And how do you like to teach? Can you just say some features of your teaching? What do you like to focus on, or what is important to you when you, or how do you start from zero with a student?
Oh, it's a good question. For me, I think one of the most important factor when we play the music is about the taste. So for the children, I usually like watch some music movie with them, like the start of music. Is it right? Am I right?
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
the music movie, and also I will let them listen a lot of like other songs from other instruments, but not only from the piano. So they have a full of imagination on the sound and in the music, and I believe it helps a lot when they play
It helps a lot because you can tell them to sound like a violin in the upper voices, but if they haven't ever heard a violin, they cannot
Exactly.
imagine. Yeah, it is. This is a good advice. Well, thank you for this conversation, and now it's playtime, and you are playing Scriabin, right?
Yes.
Preludes. I wish you best of luck, and I hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
And then we are gonna say hello again to JingCi, because then we will have a short conversation, three of us.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Have fun.
See you later.
Thank you. See you later. Magnificent. Wow.
Thank you.
This was an extraordinary performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow. It really came through. Yeah. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. In the name of all the audience who are watching us, great. Scriabin is one of a kind. His passion, his texture, his flow, his phrasing, and it's also nearly impossible to sight read it because of all the crosses. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again. Is there anything you wanted to talk about, the piece, or why did you choose to play this work?
Oh yeah. The reason I choose Chopin and Scriabin because they have very close relationship. Because I think Scriabin was deeply influenced by Chopin, and his first prelude was the first one. The first prelude was composed only 50 years later than Chopin's first prelude. So yeah, they have a lot of similarity. Like Scriabin used the same tonal arrangement sequence for this set of preludes with Chopin.
And it's very interesting. One of the preludes had something Brahms in it.
Yeah.
Very long octave phrasing. It's very demanding, actually, to play it physically. It's tiring, exhausting. Yeah, I've never played Scriabin before, but I don't know. Maybe because you just played it wonderfully. I got some inspiration.
Actually, this is my first Scriabin work.
Oh, okay, great. And how was the experience?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
I love Russian music, so yeah, wonderful. Thanks for the short conversation. Now, back to JingCi. I hope she's here. Oh,
Hi.
hello again.
Hello again. Congratulations, Peiyi. That's so
Thank you.
beautiful.
Congratulations.
I enjoyed so much.
Thank you.
It's so joyful to listen to you. It's wonderful. And thank you again, JingCi, for your performance as well. It is just incredible what tech can do to us musicians. It's a big help. I just final question. A very simple final question before we end this first episode of the first season. And thank you again for participating. It has been an extraordinary experience for me as well. This was my first time here on the show. And so yeah, the last question. Music as a never-ending process, emotionally, spiritually, and technically. How do you imagine yourself, evolving as a pianist? Where do you see yourself in 20 years? What would be your goal? Are there any challenges you face? Technical challenges, spiritual challenges, emotional challenges in different pieces. First, who wants to start? Okay, JingCi.
I will start. I can imagine that in next 20 years or next 10 years, my musicality will grow like more in more mature way, and as we go through different things and grow up, so my understanding to music will be getting much deeper and profound. And at this point, what I really want to achieve, or what I'm really pursuing, is the profound knowledge of music background information, like historical, all the reference from historical idea that I want to absorb. And for my goal in the future, I really want to be a good educator and at the same time I want to be an active performer if we have the chance. No matter
I'm sure.
in person or online, it doesn't matter because what we do is just share the music to audience and express our emotional feelings and our understanding from the music to people. Yeah.
I wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
This is a very interesting thing you just said about spiritual ripening process. Of course you have to live some bad moments in your life to be able to perform anything which is transcendental, anything which is very melancholic, maybe a bit depressive. For example, Scriabin's music, I sense a big amount, a huge amount of this agony, this depressive feeling, and to be able to play this, we have to face difficulties in our lives, and it's just this ripening process which is very difficult, and this ups and downs, this roller coaster, especially among musicians. We are very sensitive, we are very emotional human beings. It's difficult, but I think both of you agree it's worth it. It's worth it to live all this, because that's all we got. And if we are on the stage, then we can give from what we have experienced. Very good. And Peiyi, now it's your turn.
Yeah, my goal or my dream is to, let's say, have perform on the stage until only my 60 when I am 60 years old or 70 years old.
I got it.
For the musicians, I think we're always seeking for some opportunities to perform on stage, and it's valuable for us. Yeah, so this is one of my goals. And also, I want to perform with my student in the future. I could say, like bring some student into professional piano study. Yeah, so this is one of my hope, and how more and more students have chance to learn music.
I wish you best of luck for both of you, and thanks again for today.
Thank you.
JingCi, for you, I wish you a good day, and Peiyi,
Thank you.
good. I always mess up, right? Who has night now? You Peiyi, you have night right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wish you a good night. Sleep well, and thank you again for
Thank you so much.
participating here. And JingCi, have a wonderful day. It is a
Thank
rather
you.
grand start for a day, I think, having a concert in the morning, right?
Yes, it's pleasure.
My pleasure. And thank you, dear audience, for joining us today. And hope to see you soon. Goodbye.